raping a church member in his Lekki home, Lagos. The trial judge, Rahman Oshodi, found the Lagos-based cleric guilty of rape and sexual assault of a female worshipper and held that he should spend the rest of his life at the Kirikiri custodial facility in Lagos. Let's share the story by TVC News' Kemi Foladeyemo with you.
In count one, Justice Rahman Oshodi said he believed the testimony of the first complainant, as well as other witnesses who gave direct evidence, which weren't contradicted at any point, despite the defendant's denials. But the judge acquitted the defendant of the second count of raping another church member at his home in 2020. The court said the prosecution fails to prove the elements of the use of force, fear of harm by the complainant, and misrepresentation by the defendants to establish guilt beyond all reasonable doubt.
The court cannot, not for that Christmas, it cannot dash out judgments, it cannot dash out sentencing. If the court, looking at the value of the evidence before it, has said that the first complainant was a victim, was actually raped by the convict, yes, then the court is right in his wisdom.
This is to send a stern warning to every one of you who think that you can manipulate vulnerable women and girls in the name of the Lord. Survivors will get justice. You will find yourself in a place where you will not be able to escape one day. You can continue to fool everybody, but you will not be able to fool all the people all the time.
A lot of men do these crimes. A lot of pastors, big men, they do this. But it is about the survivors speaking up. So this has emboldened everybody who is a survivor of sexual assault.
Defense counsel Adebayo Adigbite had urged the court to use his discretion in sentencing, but lead prosecutor Babajide Boyi asked that he be sentenced as charged. The court said the 43-year-old cleric, who didn't have regard for truth, was a risk to the society and should spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Justice Oshodi said that the cleric Feyi Daniels abused his dominant position to sexually violate two members of his church. The court also held that even though it imposed the maximum sentencing on the convict as directed under the Lagos criminal laws of 2015, it will still not erase the harm that the convict has already wreaked on his victims. Kemi Foladeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
Our God is indeed a very patient God. Okay. Minutes. Meanwhile, in days leading to the 2023 presidential election, the same pastor predicted that the eventual winner of the election, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be arrested by soldiers on Inauguration Day.
Hear me? Peter Obi will go to court. He'll go to court. And the day for swearing him, Tinubu, will come. I saw white, I saw green. About to be sworn in that day. And everybody that I said is the next president will be rejoicing. They will say, yes, I told you. Prophet that don't see fowls, I tell you, didn't I tell you Tinubu is the next president? And while at that event, it looks like a very open ground, like a stadium-like center. I'm telling you what will happen. So, while at that event, military men will come in and they will arrest Tinubu. I'm playing the movie before you, Abi. so that you will know that prophecy is not just calling people's name. Mark my word too. I'm speaking from my office. I'm not speaking by a gift. You'll be arrested. And at that point, an interim government will rule Nigeria.
Sorry for that, Ikeja. Jide, indeed, religion is the opium of the masses. Because when you see, our correspondent still visited this man's church today.
Yes.
Today, the church was filled to capacity. And when you ask an average church member now, they will tell you that they are persecuting this man. That because of his prediction, that is their own connection.
Well, it's their own church member that the case had been there before the before the fake prophecy. The case had been on.
Yes.
So were they expecting that because he's a pastor, he should not face justice? We will never encourage that because somebody is a pastor, he's carrying a giant Bible in his armpit.
Like a Mefele.
Like a Mefele.
Immediately after.
You know, after they've done evil, they suddenly transmogrify into pastors, into Bible reading.
Immediately, the Lord became a shepherd.
Those Bibles that they are clutching in their armpit, if you ask them some questions about the Bible, they don't know. They are just doing it so that
did you see that Bible?
No, but we never even behave like a Christian, you know. So this is the way they are. But the clear message from this is that, look, nobody is too big for our laws. If you rape a woman, if you've been doing it in other places, don't come to Lagos.
Lagos says yes.
The law is clear. Whoever you are. The other day, a pastor, a physician, a doctor, was sentenced.
Yes.
So they will keep catching them, and when they catch you,
sending signals,
and there is cast iron evidence against you, if you like, speak in tongues, you are going to jail. Your speaking in tongues will not rescue you from jail. That's what we have seen. And no man is big enough to rape a woman. You cannot, because you are a pastor. Look at what the judge, let me read what the judge said. Your offenses are grievous. You sexually assaulted 2 women who are members of your church. You raped her ferociously. You committed you committed these crimes using your dominant character as a pastor.
Yes.
You know,
told her not to tell
a lot of our women tend to even respect their pastors more than they respect their husbands.
My daddy says.
If the pastor says don't travel, they won't travel.
Yes.
Meanwhile, no one knows whether the crystal ball of the pastor is upside down. He has said something, you believe that it has to come to pass. They are like your earthly gods.
God of men.
God of men. You know, so God with the small letter G. This is justice served. And it really pleases me. There are women all over the place, runs girls. You go to some of these big-time department stores and plazas.
They relocated to that place.
You see them.
Those areas now.
You see, you can disguise, remove your collar as a pastor, put on dark goggles if you don't want to be identified. Pick any of them.
You offer them.
Instead of going to rape a woman.
Honestly.
Because you rape a woman and you get caught, you are going to jail.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. So it's justice served, and it's such a good thing.
Wale?
Well, I think there are many good pastors and many good imams. There's no doubt. We have said it here several times. But there are people who are inherently evil, and they want to commit their crime, by getting religious licenses, so that to give the impression that they are men of God. If you look at this church, you know, he said it started in 2011. I even started in Ghana. And according to him, he said he had a physical encounter with God. And God told him that, follow me, and I will make you. That was on June 2008 in a community in Ekiti State, Idoile. But you could say that all the actions from that 2011 and from what you have seen now, God himself has exposed him to show that this is not my true son. You cannot be the son of God, you're a married man with children, and then you invite young women to your house to rape them. And I'm almost convinced that we are talking about 3 girls now. They are probably intense.
Yeah.
But some people are too shy because they are married people. They don't want to come out.
Yes.
So you see, the human mind is the most fertile thing that God has created. You can plant fruits. You can also plant thorns. The human mind is one that generates the best things in the world. It's also the source of the greatest evil, that we have seen all over the world. So I think we are seeing a case of a blatant liar who just exploited people's ignorance, who exploited people's poverty, because he paid school fees of some of those guys to manipulate them, to hypnotize them, and to turn them to personal objects that he was exploiting for his own layer. So, in some other countries, they will close down that church because I see so many millions of godly people there who will never believe. They have been bought over, they have been hypnotized, they cannot think out of the box. So it's very unfortunate, and I hope that even if he appeals this case, I don't think he will get out of it because he has exposed himself as a very fraudulent. Look at what he said during the election. Blatant lies that God told him that, it's very logical thing. When you look at it, you believe it. But it turned out to be lie, has been exposed. So the lesson is that no matter how cunning you are, at the fullness of time, God himself will expose and disgrace you.
Yes.
So the number that was given when he was predicting about 2023 election, nothing came to pass.
He said that there will be interim government. Are we under interim government now?
He said Tinubu will be arrested at the Eagle Square.
Yes. Who has been arrested now? Maybe it was himself being arrested. And in his dream, he looked like Tinubu. I guess it's himself that he saw.
God was showing him.
God was showing him. He misinterpreted that encounter with God. Maybe God was showing him.
You are the one that will go to jail.
You this boy, you will go to jail. Because you refuse to leave those girls alone. You refuse to leave them alone. Look at the judge saying that he raped someone ferociously because the girl was injured and
bleeding,
infected.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many perverts roaming around our streets, and you wear a suit. You wear a suit, a trendy suit.
Mount the pulpit.
And then begin to...
Our Father in the Lord.
God told me this.
Our Daddy in the Lord.
We were not there. But the same Bible says, by their seeds we shall know them. By their seeds. The great preachers of old in this country, the Babalolas, the Shadelas, the blind man.
Yeah, Obadiah.
Yes,
Obadiah.
Yes, the Dahosas. We never identify them with all these kind of things. Lollipop Christianity is destroying the religion. People just waiting to hear what will please them, rather than follow the dictates of the Holy Book. You are just waiting. Somebody stands before you. You are listening to him. You want to hear. Because at that time, it was the wish of some people. Didn't some deluded people go to defense headquarters asking the military to step in? People who did not know what it means for military to be in power. Some of us who lost friends. Some of us who fought for this democracy and lost our friends in the process. We can tell the story. Not people who were in the diapers during military reign. We lost our friends. People put in jail for no offense. What did Christiania would do, for example, that they jailed her? Christiania, one of the best journalists to come out of NTA. What did she do? No offense. You just put her in jail.
We couldn't trace the dead body of
Bagada to today. They just wasted him.
Chinedu Ofaro of The Guardian. You can't trace his body.
And some people will now be saying that they want military rule. You know what you are?
The person that
yes, you didn't want somebody who won the election to get there. Perhaps this was what was afflicted that pastor. He now wanted to say things that generation of deluded people wanted to hear. He now said that he saw somebody being handcuffed It is your country that will go to.
Oh, it was one.
That will face.
Military will come during.
Not during my time.
Day.
Maybe another country, migrate to another country and experience military rule. We will not experience military rule again. We saw it.
Never again.
Nobody can tell us the story.
Never again. Never again. All right, moving on now. It is new dawn in Kogi State, north central Nigeria, as Yaya